If I disappeared today. Not in a dramatic way. No goodbye message. No final post. Just quiet. No story. No online dot. No late night reply. I wonder who would notice first. Not immediately, not right away, but later, when the world slows down. Maybe you'd pick up your phone out of habit, scroll without thinking, and for a second, nothing would feel different. Because absence doesn't arrive loudly, it arrives softly, like something you only notice once it's been gone for a while. I imagine you in your room, warm light spilling across familiar corners, the same routine, the same comfort, the same quiet you've learned to live inside. We never called it anything special, we never had to, we were just there, most days, most nights, little messages, unimportant updates. Photos of the sky, a sentence that didn't need a reply, but always got one. Somewhere along the way, those small things started meaning more than we realized. I think about how easily moments become habits, how habits become comfort, and how comfort becomes something we stop noticing until it's missing. At night, when everything else goes quiet, that's when presence matters most. The room feels bigger. The phone feels heavier, the silence feels longer, and if one night, that silence stayed unanswered, the next day would still happen. Sunlight would still move across the floor. Life wouldn't pause to check if I was still there. At first, you wouldn't notice. Why would you? People don't disappear all at once. They fade from routines. By the second day, maybe you'd think, busy. By the third, probably tired. Absence learns how to disguise itself as normal. Time moves forward so politely. It never asks who it's leaving behind. But sometimes, in the middle of scrolling, your thumb would slow. Not stop. Just hesitate. A name would feel heavier than the others. A space where something used to be. You might scroll up. Just a little. Read the last message again. Not because it meant something then, but because it feels different now. Memory has a strange way of warming things after they're gone. You'd remember the tone, the timing, the way replies always came when you least expected them. The sky photos, the quiet jokes, the comfort of knowing someone was there. And maybe, standing by the window, watching the light change colors, you'd think of me, not in a dramatic way, just briefly, softly. Type a few words, delete them, type again. Not knowing what to say. When the silence has already said so much. Meanwhile, I'd be sitting in a room that feels unfamiliar, only because you're not in it anymore. Checking a phone that doesn't light up, convincing myself that not being noticed hurts less than being remembered till late. There's a certain kind of loneliness that comes from being quietly important to someone. Not central, not urgent, just steady. And when that steadiness disappears, it leaves a shape behind. Then one moment, small and ordinary, a message arrives. No big words, no explanation, just presence. And suddenly, the room feels warmer again. Not because everything is fixed, but because something real was felt. Because someone noticed the silence. Because someone searched for the absence. And maybe that's the quiet truth we don't talk about enough. That the people who matter most are rarely the loudest ones. They're the ones who show up softly, who stay consistently, who disappear so quietly, you only realize how much they mattered when the room feels colder without them. So if I disappeared today, I don't wonder who would panic. I wonder who would pause, who would scroll back, who would feel the silence and think my name without saying it out loud. Because sometimes being remembered quietly is the deepest kind of love.